This is the Blender's Table, where we sit down, light a bowl, and talk to the people who actually make the blends we smoke. Not the marketing, not the tin description, the real story. Why they blend, how they think, what they struggle with, and what makes a blend more than just good. If you've ever wondered what goes into creating something you pack into a pipe, you're in the right place. So, pack a bowl of your favorite blend, settle into your favorite chair, and join me as we sit at the Blender's Table. Good evening, everybody. Welcome back to the Blender's Table. Today we are honored by the one and only Anthony from MadHatter's Tobacco. Welcome, Anthony.
Hi, thank you.
Yes, sir. So we got a few people already in the chats. Winchester Piper, welcome. Captain Burleslice, James Kopp, welcome everybody. Glad to have you guys here with us. And just remind the ways it's going to work, just like last time. We'll kind of break down and Anthony, just kind of go into your process and what some of your likes and dislikes and just how you do what you do, because it's just great stuff. And then we'll stop every so often and kind of between sections, and we'll jump into the comments and see what people have and answer your questions then. So if I don't get your question right away, just hold on. We're coming back to it soon. So we're going to kind of just jump right into this here. So Anthony or Tony? What do you prefer?
Tony.
Tony, my man. Okay. Pipe or cigar? What'd you smoke first?
Cigars.
Cigars. What made you want to jump to pipes then?
I had this obsession with pipes. You know, everybody's got the granddad thing. Pipes always, there was a method to it, right? I'd watch people, they'd pack them, they'd clean them, and they cared for them. It was like cars, like people that are car people care for their cars, but you see these older guys in and out of the dealership smoking them, and they always cleaned them, and they always had them in a pocket. They always kept them with them. There was something sentimental about the smell and just how at peace they looked.
Okay, so kind of the nostalgia and the I like that, just kind of taking care of it. I can see you. Okay, and you're talking about just the smell. So I've not tried this Mad Bear.
Mm-hmm.
So that's the first bolt. Man, the immediate room note is fantastic. And so I asked real quick, what, if you don't mind, sharing a little bit about your,
Go ahead.
Not all your secrets, your recipe, but this Mad Bear. Because I think, is it still available right now, or?
No, it's sold out.
Oh, okay. Was there another batch coming soon?
Yes, there'll be. So I revisit things that people ask, like plum cake.
Okay.
I do go back and I revisit those. The reason I space them out is because I don't want it to become just your run of the mill blend that you can get anywhere, and then it doesn't do anything. Like Jabberwocky. It's just I bring it back every so often, just because people, they love it. White Witch. Some guys were upset because Christmas they didn't get Burley and the White Witch, and I brought it back and I tweaked it just a little bit to give it a little bit more kick. But that's when I do things like that. I usually come back and then I'm like, maybe I'm gonna try it this way, because no blend, whether it's, especially with all the small batches, everybody knows they're never always the same. Right. The quality of the leaf, the time the leaf was picked, how old the leaf is, everything changes. And I just try to change with it.
So what is in this, if you don't mind me asking?
Okay. And it is no secret, but so it's just, it's all C&D leaf, right? I use, Cornell and Deal for everything. That's my go-to. I do have a lot of Sutliff that I periodically plug into blends. Have a lot of it. So I don't use it as much, but it's just basic. It's just Red Virginias, a little Perique. And then so my process is everything's got multiple stages, right? Everything's got multiple levels and casings and toppings. But that one I start with, I infuse it. I can't give you how I infuse it, but I infuse it.
Okay, fine.
It's no one else is doing it the way I'm doing. So I'd rather keep that kind of.
Sure. Yeah, of course.
But so I infuse it for 2 months, 3 months. Then I take it out, and then because it's still kind of damp, and then I let it dry in giant, long plastic containers with lids on them. And I go out throughout the day and I rough it up, move it up, get oxygen moving. As soon as it's fully re-oxygenated and it's almost dry, depending on what I'm doing. So this one I wanted it a little bit drier. And then I took Silver Patron, Blanton's honey, a little bit of elderflower, and a splash of burnt sugar. Okay. And then I recased it, tossed it, threw it in a bucket, put saran wrap around a bucket, and I let it sit for another 4 months.
This is fantastic. That paprika's starting to kind of come through. So a little hint of spice, man. This is good. Okay, well, all right. Well, I'm getting sidetracked here. So you went into so you made the jump to pipes because you kind of like the nostalgia and the the kind of the old man kind of vibe. So then, what was your first pipe that you got?
An Amazon $30 pipe.
Nice. Do you happen to have that pipe still?
I do in a box somewhere because after I got to set
Gotcha.
my first factory pipe Savinelli, I forgot all about those.
So you Savinelli man over Peterson?
I am. I am. I just had this conversation with Mason Evans last night.
Mm-hmm.
I'm not. I have a ton of Petersons. Um, the spigots are great. The quality is not like it was. As you can tell, as they're releasing, there's a lot of. It's just seven of the same pipe through and through. It doesn't matter if you smoke a Virginia or an English or an aromatic. They're all great. Petersons, they don't have the same. They don't carry that same weight as Savinelli does, in my opinion. Now, again, they're they say about opinions.
Well, it's just that they're all everybody's got one, and most of them, if they're not like mine, then you're just wrong.
Yeah.
But I'm gonna back you up on the Savinelli though. I have a few Savinelli pipes, love them. I would take that 10 times out of 10 over Peterson. No offense, but Peterson
No,
fans, but
100%. It's crazy. I just had a conversation last night with Mason.
it's funny. The so you got the pipe. You're starting to try your your hand at trying to get into tobacco, picking out the blends you like. What was that sort of moment that kind of I guess you call it like a light bulb when you thought maybe I'm not really just enjoying this. I'm starting to analyze it, starting to kind of pick things apart. What was that kind of, you know, I guess that moment we go, I can probably make this.
It started with Lane Tobaccos.
Okay.
I felt like I was smoking hot air.
Mm-hmm.
They were missing something. They were missing. There was no middle. There was no body. There was no nothing. They smell great in the bag. That first couple puffs, and they're great. And then after that, they're dead.
Yeah.
And that bothered me. I was like, man. Then the rest of it, I mean, it just wasn't good. Didn't taste like it was. And then I got some tobacco from a seller I bought, independent guy, and I remember smoking it, and I was like, I paid what for this? So, and then me and another buddy, Chris. So we started out. I would blend some stuff, and I would send to him, and he'd send it back, and we would converse about this. I mean, so it was. I've been doing it for almost 2 years, blending, legally a business, a year,
Okay.
recognized by the federal government anyway. Um, and the blending, it's kind of turned. Because what I've done now is I'll find something that I want to try, or like a lot of coffee blends, except for the Saints Espresso, which is fantastic. But majority of coffee blends don't really have anything, right?
Mm-hmm.
They're just kind of they give you a little bit of a smell, but then they just kind of dissipate as you're smoking, and you're just smoking tobacco.
Yeah.
I wanted to fix that and create a tobacco that everybody. So if you're an English smoker and you pick up Jabberwocky, you're not like, man, this is too weak. Because even my aromatics are full flavor. They still have a kick. They still give you some nicotine, which you'll find with Valentine's Vendetta. But I want everything to be full. I don't want it's like eating cheap food. It leaves you hungry an hour later.
Right. Okay. Yeah, it's funny you mentioned Saint Espresso. Man, that is a fantastic coffee
Man,
blend.
that is killer.
Yeah, I don't know if David Van Riper's in here or not, but he that's like his all-time number one favorite blend period ever. Uh,
No, it's fantastic.
it is so good. The all right, so in the that what was the first blending that you made?
So I mixed Maple Shadows with Autumn Evening.
Okay.
First I was trying to learn how to control flavors, right? How to make them stronger or mellow them out. So I started with the old school PVC pipe, C clamp. And I didn't know, and I cranked the life out of it, and I squeezed everything out, and then I went to smoke it, and there was nothing there because all the stuff came out. So everything I did was been trial and error, trial and error, trial and error. Um, I did that, and then the Chaos, I believe, was my very first one. I tried to
Okay.
make a vapor,
Hmm.
It just burned. It was so hot. It just like, I mean, the bowl would go like this, and I was just like, dude, I can't. So I started adding some stuff to it. And next thing you knew, I had this. It was just Cavendish and Latakia and Perique and Burley. And next thing you know, then I was just like, this is chaos. And I was like, wait, that's the name of this blend. And I didn't think anybody would like it. So I sent it to some people and people loved it. And I was like, okay, this is pretty cool. Then Jabberwocky was my second one.
Okay.
Um, and then I took from there, and then I did Casey Smoke
Mm. Okay.
to give that kind of that barbecuey, which I think that because I tried that smokehouse,
Oh yeah.
which I
Yep.
was not a fan, which I didn't like. So I try to make it more tolerable.
Okay. That's a really good approach to that, because I mean I got some of the KC Smoke. That was actually
Hmm.
how I discovered you, was with the KC Smoke. It's the first blend I ever bought from you, and it was like, man, this is really good, but I couldn't put my finger on what it was similar to. That's a great way to describe it. It's smokehouse, but it's tolerable. I love it, because that's exactly, I didn't put that together until just now, and there's a reason why I like one of those two blends, and it's not that other one. The so with your first blend, then the first few blends, what would you say is really the hardest thing to get right? I know you said you squeeze the life out of one of them, but what is kind of that, the hardest thing to go, okay, this is it, this is perfect. Oh, what was the hardest part to get right?
So back in the COVID era, I got COVID real bad, and I was in ICU
Oh,
for 4 days.
okay.
I don't have all my taste and smell back.
Mm-hmm.
So when I'm tasting things, I'm always worried that it's not going to taste good because I can pick up flavors and some flavors I can't pick up. So a lot of times when I'm sending these blends out, I may think a lot of times they're super potent because that's how I can taste them. Um, so when I send them out, I'm always worried that it's either going to be too strong or something like that, because that's why I smoke a lot of Kia, because I can taste it. Where like Virginias are a little bit harder for me to taste unless you do like a McClellan's or a 515. Then I can taste the ketchup. I can smell it. But so I struggle more with that. Like Preek's real hard for me to get. So sometimes I might overkill it because I personally can't. So I have a guy so that was my problem in the beginning. So now I have a taste tester,
Okay.
um, Oliver. I send him one of everything that I make, and he gives me feedback. Um, and then now he's built a site about this, so a lot of people are sending him tobacco. It's down the rabbit hole.
Okay. I've heard of
Um,
that. Yep.
yeah, that was me and him brainstorming together. I said, man, you need to put these out here. We got to get these out there for people. So he's the guy. I send everything to him. He's one of my favorite people on the planet. He's always honest with me. He says, no, this tastes like shit, or no, you got too much of this, or hey, it's a little too
Yeah.
wet. So before, when he was helping, he helped me figure out the drying method, right? Because I
Hmm.
wouldn't let them dry long enough. So a lot of my blends early on were very damp, right? So he kind of helped me. Says, hey, you need to do this. So he's helped me figure out like a balance between moisture and not moisture. And since then, I've you can grab tobacco, squeeze it, and let you know what it is. So he's helped me there. But yeah, man, I've leaned on a lot of the community, who that a lot of these guys I've leaned on. Big John, they helped me a lot and gave me support when I was trying to figure things out.
That's really interesting. Because the community really is just awesome. So if you ever need anybody that is not really good at tasting but loves to taste things, I right here.
I
I'm your
can
guy.
say them.
You let me know.
How do you like Rustica? Because I got some.
I mean, I'll smoke it. So you know, talking about going back to the pipe topic. What's your favorite pipe? Do you have like a certain pipe you always gravitate to when you smoke?
A 614 KS.
Okay. You happen to have that close by, do you? We could all
I
see.
do. Hold on.
Okay. Yeah, yeah, go ahead.
Let me. So some of these guys, I'm gonna walk you over here so you can see shelf.
Wow.
But here is where I keep most of them. So we talk about the
Oh,
Petersons.
yeah.
Not a huge fan. Got some Sean Reams,
Ooh,
some
okay.
Hoodats up in there.
Okay.
Um, more Hoodat. There's my Hoodat collection. And then this. These are my Savinellis. I don't know if
Oh,
you can see it.
I can. I love the stem colors too. Got a little nice variety of all of it.
Well,
That's
there's more. I have a thing for Chicams.
okay.
But the one thing that I kind of got into a little bit later, I got a little JD Wolf too,
Oh, okay. Give
little
the
buddy.
shout out. Nice.
I
Love it.
got into these.
Okay. The full bent or just the
Yes,
okay. I've gotten one. I love
dude,
it.
these are
It is such a great
fantastic.
pipe. Yeah.
These are phenomenal. David Van Piper is actually the guy who was talking about this. So I
Okay.
blame him because he was doing something in his yard and was smoking with one of these hanging out of his mouth.
Yeah.
He goes, dude, he was talking about how amazing these are, how you can do all kinds of things with it. So I blame him for all these that I got. Um, but yeah, that's his fault. But
Oh,
so
that's fine.
my very first Savinelli,
Very nice. Love it.
it's so the 614 KS is what I typically run to.
Hmm.
Because it's comfortable in my hand. I'm not a big billiard guy. If you notice, there's probably no billiards up there. Um, I went through, that's the other thing with the pipe thing, which is beautiful, man. It's like a set of like tires, man. You figure out what tires you love, what's comfortable, and you run
Right.
with them forever.
Yeah.
So the same thing with the pipes, man. It's just whatever feels good in your hand. And there's a weight distribution too. When you hold
Sure.
it, when you clenching it. Me and Sean Reams talk about that all the time. I'm Sean. I love Sean to death. But we talk about clenchers. You always ask me, well, what pipe do you want next? I was like, I need a clencher. And he always just bangs it out for me.
That's awesome. Yeah, that's really cool. Yeah, and I will say the you're talking about the full bent there. You really do everything with it. I did find something you can't do with it, and that is smoke while reading a book inside. Every time I puff at all, smoke goes right in my eye every
Oh,
single
no.
time. It's like dang it, because it's you talk about like a Sherlock Holmes. This is what I picture sitting here reading a book is a nice full bent pipe. And maybe it's just user error. I mean, I am an idiot after all,
No,
but
no, it's, I love them. They're great.
they really
And
are.
they're my prized possessions, man. I wipe them down. I make sure they got
Yep.
carnauba wax on them every so often. So I mean, to me, smoking a pipe is like meditation, right? You smoke
Hmm.
the pipe. I just don't throw it in a drawer and let it go there. I clean it out. I let it cool off. I clean it,
Hmm.
and then I put it back, wipe my fingerprints off it, put it back up. So more me, it's more of a meditation. It's the process of packing the bowl, lighting it, getting the flame going. I mean, there's a million and one reasons that it's just good. A cup of coffee,
Yeah.
smoking a pipe in the morning, man.
So what blends are you reaching for more often than not? What's your go-tos?
Man, I'm super sporadic, man, with that. I'm a very big English guy. So
Okay.
GLP's is one of my favorites. Westminster, um, Abington. I mean, those are going to be like my honestly my go tos for everything. Peterson, Nightcap. So I cut
Okay.
my teeth on actual English.
Yeah.
And every now and then I'll get a wild hair and I'll do some bullseye or deluxe navy rolls or
Hmm.
something. But I mean, I got a lot of small batch. It's just whatever hits me that time. But 9 times out of 10, it's Westminster.
So, I watched Mutton Chop Piper one time, and he was talking about like his favorite blends, and his is the Westminster, but it's 10 years or older. So I
Hmm.
bought a 10 like 3 years ago. So in 7 years I'll get to try it. But I was just curious, I mean, do you have any aged Westminster? Is it really that good? Or should I just go
I don't have
scratch it
any
now?
age, so and this is probably where I'm going to upset people, and I apologize, everybody out there. I bought all the McClellans. I had all that. The Christmas cheer,
Mhm.
the Virginia Woods. I bought all those. Spent way too much money on them. And you know what, man? I didn't. It did.
Really?
I gave more away than I smoked. I just didn't really hit me. It was. I don't know, man. I guess because I'm so used to fresh tobacco
Yeah.
that it just not my speed.
Gotcha.
I know
Well,
there's guys that's all they smoke, man, and more power to them. But I mean, I don't want anything. There's something about popping 10 of something that's 5 years or newer is pretty much
Mhm.
my
Okay.
go. I mean, I've got 6-year-old, three nuns.
Oh wow. Okay.
And three nuns is killer. But
Mm-hmm.
yeah, and I'm weird like that, man. I like 5 years or newer is kind of where I'm at.
Okay. All right. Well, it's the okay. Last question for here. We'll get into the comments. So what is your, I guess your favorite pairing then to go with this new tobacco?
It depends. So in the evening, it's usually strong, right? After you eat dinner, I need a
Mm-hmm.
strong thing. And it's
Yeah.
usually Jameson's my favorite. Jameson or
Okay.
Redbreast. I'm a cheap
Oh
date.
yeah. Redbreast.
Cheap
That's
date.
good.
Um, and that's usually what it is, man. That's my unwind time. In the morning, I'll pick something light, early morning pipe tobacco,
Hmm.
Chelsea morning, or I might grab some Mad or Sun Bear. You know, that's kind of what it is, man. Just something with a little kick, but a little lighter in the morning. But
Yeah.
that evening time, man, I need something to just.
Love it. Yeah. So you, okay. So I'm more of a Scotch guy. So Jameson, I mean, but I'll go with you on Redbreast. That's good stuff there.
That's
Do
great.
like some Redbreast. So let's jump in the comments here. We got quite a few comments. Let's see. We got Captain Brothers Size, Westman or Winchester Piper. Let's all right. There, my back.
Yeah, you're
Okay.
back.
Wife just came home, which for whatever reason, my Bluetooth automatically connects to her phone, so she's listening to us in her car. Excuse me. Uh, so yeah. But so if you heard anything from the kids, sorry about that. The but okay. So yeah, I can't get. So I don't know if there's any comments coming in. I apologize. I cannot see anything. But okay. Well, we'll just keep going on then. We'll call it technical difficulties. I can't speak either, and maybe we'll let it catch up here in a second. Um, all right, so going into your blending process now. So we talked about what you like. Now, how about the blending process? So when you're going to start with a brand new blend, what's the first thing that comes to mind? Is it the kind of the flavor idea you're going to go with? It's just kind of what leaf do you have available? Just what mood you're in? What's your kind of thought process to start a new blend?
This is where I'm probably a little bit different.
Okay.
I hear a song, I see a word, or I see a picture. Sometimes I try to design a picture. What's in my mind, right?
Hmm.
So I'm trying to design what's in. I was an art major in college, so it's probably why I like the colorful stems and the crazy artwork on my things. But it's sometimes it's a song. Back to Eden,
Okay.
an idea. Sometimes it's a picture I see, or it's a word. It's there's so many different things that kind of trigger the author to write a book, right? And this is
Yeah.
kind of the same thing. There's no really. I don't sit down and be like, okay, I'm gonna do this. Beginning by January this year, I had 25 blends in buckets. Each had about
Wow.
3 pounds in each bucket because they were just coming, they were coming, they were coming, and I was
Yeah.
just going, 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 going. Um, and that's kind of what it is. Like I just kind of go. I'm trying, as people know, I try to do things differently. Like I try to do like a burley month, then I try to do like a whiskey vapor month, or I try to do just something kind of each month, and
Mm.
and it's cool, but the way I was before was spontaneous, and that's what I think we're going to go back to,
Hmm.
because I had more love for what I did when I was doing things through spontaneity rather than trying to come up with a list of, oh, I need to release these five or this. And I think we all get caught up in trying to do that, and then we forget what the love is. Now it's a job. Like I
Yeah.
work in a car business. I've been in the car business for 26 years. I'm a used car manager.
Wow. Hmm.
Um, So I work long, long, long hours, and I come home, and then I would blend or I bag and vacuum seal. But yeah, man, it's the creative aspect of it. It was my favorite part of all this.
Okay. So when you're staring at it, so you get, which since you were in your mood per month, but now we're, let's say you got the next blend you're going to work on. You're staring at your table full of components. You get your Virginias, your Latakias, your Periques. how do you start? I guess like you're like a, a master painter. How do you start your painting? Do you think the flavor profile because you got the blend type already, or do you kind of let the leaf make itself? What do you do?
Depending on the name
Huh?
or the picture or whatever it is what I blend around. Um, it's like, Alice in Wonderland. A lot of my stuff is Alice in Wonderland, right?
Hmm.
And I was trying to think of when I started, it was blends that I've tried that I wasn't happy with. I wanted to reinvent. Like I'm getting ready to do a banana, right?
Hmm.
I wanted to do a banana flavor for so long. So, and what the trick's going to be is not use the chemical one. I don't want it to taste like chemical or medicine. I want it to taste like real banana.
Hmm.
So I'm researching things and tasting things that taste like banana. So before I apply it to anything, I want to make sure that it doesn't leave a weird taste in my mouth or anything like that. So there's a lot of research that goes into it. Like cheap whiskey doesn't work as well or infuse as well as $100 bottle whiskey. There's just different things that don't work very well.
Right.
Four Roses, by the way, is a great blending whiskey for all those who like
Okay.
whiskey in their blends. You gotta get small batch, 104 proof, but it's phenomenal. It holds the flavor, it holds everything really well.
So have you
Um,
notice a higher proof? Sorry, I mean, cut you off. Is a higher proof? Is that what's doing it, or is
Higher
it just?
proof because I've done some like Jameson does okay,
Hmm.
but the problem with alcohol is if you give it too much oxygen, it evaporates.
Right.
Right? So you're fighting a little bit of just arrows in general, but you're fighting a little of that. So there's different ways you can air infuse tobacco
Hmm.
or you can spray tobacco and let them soak it up. Right. So there's a couple ways. I try to do a lot of air infusions. So when I do an infusion, there's multiple layers to every blend that I do.
Okay.
You'll start with an air infusion for a few months. I'll let the tobacco sit out and be super dry. And then
Hmm.
I put it in the bucket and it'll drink a whole glass of whiskey down in
Oh
2 months.
wow.
And then I'm giving away secrets.
Okay. Well, you don't have
But
to keep going on, but
but no, it's
it's
all right.
crazy.
But that's one way of doing it. And then you come
Hmm.
back over again, like on the Mad Bear. Then you case it again. The honey will hold all the moisture and everything into it, so it bonds to the leaf. So you do the navy first, and then when you're doing the honey and the Patron, you mix them together. Then you case it. And then everything's going to hold to that now. But you got to get a good foundation before you build on top of it.
Okay.
It's like
So
making chili, man. I tell everybody it's just like making chili. Yes, I have measurements. I write down what I do just for tracking, but they're not really accurate. Like I got scales, but sometimes it's like, screw it, I'll just use a little bit more.
okay. So you mentioned banana. There's a couple comments
Mhm.
in here too about banana. So I'm just curious. I mean, how do you get a banana flavor? Do you use an actual banana, or is it like a flavoring that you
No,
buy?
no, you would have to use extract
Oh, okay.
for one. Then you would have to, kind of figure out how to put a little bit of vanilla, a little bit of cream, and kind of concoct
Okay.
something, right?
Okay.
And that's really good. That's really what I'm trying to do, like the raspberry. So, like my
Hmm.
raspberry that I made, I actually we boiled real raspberries down, made a reduction, and then with that, I added some extract to it to thicken it up to give it a little bit more punch, and that's how I came up with the raspberry. So
That's really
bananas, you
cool.
can make a banana reduction as well,
Okay.
and then you can apply it over. There's a lot of actual fruit that goes in, like my apples, real fruit juice, sugar free. But I use a lot of natural. Everything I use is natural. There's no weird, crazy stuff in my
That's really
tobacco.
cool.
It's I
Yeah.
and it's all natural.
That's really awesome. The so when you're creating these blends, then what kind of influences you? You talked about you kind of you had a month where you'd pick a certain type of blend, but what's kind of your influence? You're talking about now you're kind of going to go with the flow. Where are you going to get those influences from of what to create next?
It's when I smoke something.
Okay.
It's when I talk to people. It's what I see. It's
Okay.
anything, man. I mean, what's beautiful about this is, and that I actually have an imagination is that I can. I mean, I've been doing it. I've made, bro. I can't tell you how many blends I've actually made. There's. I think I have 135 that I've made.
Wow. That's crazy.
Um, and eventually a person runs into a thing, and there's a lot of people out there that make tobacco, and they'll take a little bit of latakia away, or add a little Latakia, then I'll change the name, make a different name, or add more of it. I don't ever want none of my blends to be identical. And I'm not talking about adding or removing leaf. I'm talking about using French burley or, you know, just different leaves, sourcing different leaves from different places. Um, that is my goal, to never have the same tasting tobacco.
And so you've
And
done
some
it
of them are hits
130
and some of
times.
them are not. I mean,
Yeah.
nobody, if I was able to make a tobacco that everybody loved 100% of the time, I'd be God, but I'm not.
Right.
But I do appeal to a larger platform for being just me than most people, because I do experiment with some of the crazy stuff. I did a creamsicle that smelled and tasted like a creamsicle. It would say smelled like orange and tasted like the vanilla. That sucked to
That's,
make. Seven
that
times I
sounds
had
like
to
it's pretty
case it.
intense.
7 casings.
Really? Wow. Okay. And that wasn't too wet? I feel like that'd be dripping at
No,
seven
because it would
casings.
dry and then it would evaporate. Then I'd case again and it'd dry and evaporate. So finally I built enough up that it finally was like, okay, I'm not going anywhere. It's not like the people think like it, like my coworkers at work, they think they're like, man, you make pipe tobacco? That's weird. I was like, no, not really. I mean,
Right.
some people collect dolls, I collect pipes. Um, but so it's not as easy as just mixing some tobacco in a bowl and then saying, okay, here's my blend. I mean, true thought and true to go through with it, it takes time, man. It's not, it's very labor intensive.
So then, as you're making these blends, how do you know when it's ready? Like, how do you know when a blend, all right, this is the final product. This
So
is what
the
we're
good
going
rule of
with.
thumb is two to 4 weeks, right?
Okay.
That gives time everything to blend together. Process in there. So as you do things longer, if you figure ways to do things a little bit better, you smoke a blend, man, I probably should let it rest a little bit longer. So you figure these things out. What I've been successful with is I have enough tobacco that I can blend for indefinitely, you know. So
Yeah.
and I blend and then I let them rest for months, 6 months, 8 months. And I got a cool place where I store them. Then I have humidity that controls how much humidity is in the air. So I do. I just blend, and the key to it is patience, man. Patience. That's it. You can take a terrible blend, let it rest for 2 3 months, and it'll be actually pretty good because it's mellowed out.
Oh, yeah. Okay. Well, let's jump into the comments here. That's all I had for your blending process. And let's see if we got anything in here. The, got quite a few folks on here. Old Man Copper, welcome. Piper Okie. Um, all right, so how about grape? You have any grape blends ever
Someone
tested with
asked me
grape?
about that. So grape is tough. I want to find it again. Grape's gonna be another one of those. If I can conquer banana, because banana is kind of elusive.
Hmm.
Um, then the next one's going to be grape, and you got to figure out which grape you want to use. Do you want to do a Concord? Do you want to do a white grape, a purple grape? Again, you got to figure out how not to make it taste like medicine.
Yeah, because grape. I mean, I'm
That's
thinking Diamond Tap immediately. So
one
yeah,
thousand percent. That's
yeah,
so. So I know people didn't like um, Cephalus or Cephalus from that whole blend from C&D with all
yeah,
the
yeah.
ancient ones, old ones.
Yep,
It's got grape to it, and it's actually really good. Some people hate it. I really
yeah,
enjoy it. Mind you, I let them sit in a jar for a year, then I smoke
yeah.
them. But I think it's fantastic.
Well, I mean, Captain Black Grape is set the bar pretty stinking
Yeah, you
high.
can't
I
find it
mean,
anymore, and that's why everybody's like, "Can you
that's
make this? Can
true.
you make this?"
That's
I
true.
never got to smoke any, so I have no idea what it tastes like. A lot of these things I can smoke, I can get or I'll buy from somebody just so someone
Yeah,
wants me to make something. Like Edward, I make a pound of Edward for that's no longer made anymore for a guy. So he calls me, he'll get a hold of me every few months, and then I'll make a pound for him.
that's cool. Yeah, so I like Frogmorton. Just gonna throw it out there.
Frogmorton's good. I have actually, he's up on that
Yeah,
shelf up there. He's pretty good. But it's that Cavendish, a little bit of Cavendish in there. It's good. I mean,
yeah.
again, it's give me a lot of Kia, brother.
Gotcha. All right, so I got a question here for you. Are there a bunch of government regulations involved with selling your blends?
Yes and no. So states differ, right? We have a federal ID. We go through the things. We're the only business in the state of Missouri that does what I do. They have no idea how to tax us, how to do anything, because it's just us. We're the only people.
Huh.
Um, if I start putting them in this, then I got a
Hmm.
problem,
Okay.
which is a reason why I send them in vacuum bags. I know people are like, well, it ruins the flavor. Well, no, it doesn't. It's airtight for
Right.
one. But it allows me to make them and store them because I got like this month's release has been already been down there for a month.
Oh, wow.
They don't dissipate. They don't go bad. They don't do
Right.
anything. So as long as I do that, I'm golden. I'm not altering the lease with anything.
Hmm.
I'm not adding any nicotine to them. I'm not adding any fillers or anything. I'm using and there's a fine line with infusing them with alcohol or anything else. But I'm not really breaking any rules.
Okay. So I got a question here from James Copp. Said, how did you get so much tobacco?
A patient wife,
Ooh,
a loving
that's yeah.
wife.
A loving patient. That's required
So I
for
bought
business.
so I went on a med. So when I started this, I was blending and I was making so many blends so much, right? I could
Hmm.
run through 2 pounds of Virginia in shoot, I don't know, 2 weeks. You
Wow.
got to think, man. I give a lot of tobacco away too. Um, I give. I mean, when I started, I was giving away pounds just to get me out there, so people would trust me because no one's going to buy from somebody they don't know. Let's be real. So I
Yeah.
gave a lot of stuff out to people. I've had a lot of spinny winnies, man. That's my own money that I buy new pipes. I give away tins of tobacco um, because everybody in the community supports me, man. I always want to give something back to all those people because they're awesome, man. I mean,
Right.
I wouldn't be who we wouldn't be where we're at without those
Right.
guys. So we always
Agreed.
try to get back. So if someone says, "Hey, Tony, man, I can you hook me up?" Absolutely, I'm gonna hook you up, man.
Yeah.
Why wouldn't I? That's I'm not that guy. I'm not the guy who's gonna ask say, "Hey, you want a sample?" and send you a bag this big. That pisses me off. Send me a bag this big. I mean, what am I gonna do with this, bro? My pipes are bigger than the bag. Um,
So, got another question here for you. So, any plans to bring back Arkham Ember and the Ghost in the Machine? He's got a bowl or two of each. He's just holding on, waiting for more to come.
yes, possibly. Those are more fall blends.
Okay.
So the ones that's one of them. So is oh my god, Shut Your Plum Cake Hole. That one, so that one's a little bit different. So on the plum, Shut Your Plum Cake Hole, you make it, you let it rest, right? I let it rest for a little bit in a bucket. Then I weigh it up and then I put it in and again, I'm using my thing. I don't use wooden planks. I use cheesecake pans because they have false bottoms. You can push the bottom
Okay.
out.
Hmm.
So I heat the things up for 8 hours in a sous vide. I let a pound it each time for up to 180 degrees for 6 to 8 hours. I get it hot. I cut the bag open. I pour it in the pan. I even it out. I press it for 7 days.
Wow.
After 7 days, you get a rock hard brick. I pop it out. I cut it. Boom, you're done. But since I only have two presses, I can only do 2 pounds at a time, and that whole process takes me a month from the time I heat it up to cutting it up and packaging it. The So it's a long process. So a lot of those I do, and that's all I do is just that blend because it is so consuming.
Yeah.
And
Okay. So,
plum's
last,
hard to take.
really?
Yeah,
Hmm.
I use just real prune juice.
Last question, and then we'll kind of jump back into it. Last comment here's kind of talking about the regulations to it. Does your state have surcharges on tobacco production?
No, they only charge me on what I buy,
Okay.
not what I sell. But I have to fill out a form for every state that I deliver tobacco to. You got to think we've done 25 states in 1 month, and I got to have a separate tax form for each one of those states. Well, I mean, they will have our tax paperwork a month will be this thick.
Dang, that's
Again, my
crazy.
wife's wonderful and she helps me.
So, what is the surcharge, or what's the percentage on tax, or yeah, tax on tobacco in
Um,
Missouri?
oh, it's the lowest in the country.
Oh, really?
It's like 88 cents or something.
Okay.
It's the lowest in the country.
Yeah. So I know Florida's got a nice, wonderful 85%. So any tobacco you buy is
No,
going to be
no, no.
85% tax
It's like
on top.
cents. It's low,
That's, that's
30%,
awesome.
31, 32, something. It's. I don't know the exact percentage, but it's the lowest in the country. My
That's
wife
really
knows
cool.
because she deals with it
Yeah.
all.
Gotcha. All right. So I got 5 fast questions for you. I didn't send these to you, so I didn't give you time to prepare. So they really
Okay.
are just rapid fire 5 blending questions. All right. So
Okay.
here we go. Virginia or Burley base?
Depends on the blend. But
Okay.
it
Which one
depends
would
on
you
what
prefer?
you're doing with the blend.
Which one do you prefer? If you can make a dream blend, which one do you prefer? If
I
you pick.
use Virginias more than I do
Okay.
Burleys.
Okay. A lot of Kia. I think I already know the answer, but essential or overrated?
1000% essential.
My
On the
man.
blend. Again, I'm not gonna put a
Yeah.
lot of Kia in an aromatic.
Oh, sure,
Aromatic. I
sure.
mean, that would be silly.
Most underrated leaf.
I don't. Mm, 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 mm. I really don't have an answer for that. I think red Virginia.
Okay.
Everybody's always about bright
Okay.
Virginias. You always hear bright.
Yeah. Yeah. Okay. So like the red Virginias. All right. So what's your favorite leaf to work with?
Burley.
Oh, okay. And when you're testing a new blend, what's the best pipe material and shape for testing out a brand new blend?
Well, I use mirrors, I use cobs, I use short, I use briars, I use longs, I use long mirrors, short mirrors. I smoke. JD Wolf sent me a couple of test pipes, 3 actually. Um, Fantastic guy. Sent them to me. So they're just small bowls because you got to think, man, I'll smoke 10 to 15 bowls in a matter of 45 minutes.
Oh, wow. Okay.
Not full bowls like we're talking,
Right.
but
Little
we're
test
just
bowls.
little.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's really okay. Really cool. And so you try each. Sorry, my lighter's all jacked up here. So you try each material just to see what it's gonna. I guess what the end user's gonna smoke it
Well,
in.
I have to try what the leaf is by itself, right? I need to
Okay.
know that the components are going to work well together. Did I put too much bright? Remember we talked about it because bright Virginia burns really fast and hot. So then I got to do something that's going to counteract that in a blend. You want your goals to make it burn evenly and
Mhm.
not too fast. I use a lot of cube burley to help slow that burn down in a lot of blends.
Huh? All right. So what do you think now? Kind of going into your tricks of the trade here. Again, you don't have to divulge anything you don't want to divulge. But what do you think is maybe like a secret weapon component that's really undervalued that you'll throw into yours?
Honey,
Honey. Okay.
it's
How so?
antibacterial. It keeps mold from
Yeah.
forming on the tobacco. It's a natural
Okay.
sweetener.
Yeah.
When it coats the leaf, it locks in whatever you're putting underneath it.
Okay. Maybe that's why
We
the
use
sun
natural
bears.
honey, so we have a local
Yeah.
grower here. We buy honey
Okay.
from. We buy a lot honey. We eat a lot of honey, but it's all natural from local here in Kansas City.
That's really cool. What are were there any blends that you've made 130 blends or so now?
Mhm.
Were there any blends that you made that you just completely ditched, or maybe you just decided, you know what, I can't even release this. I'm just going to scratch it.
God, there's been hundreds.
Really? And you've made hundreds or over 100. That's crazy.
Yeah, you got to think, man.
Yeah.
I would go down there and blend, man. I mean, I would blend. I'd put piles of tobacco right up, and
Hmm.
then I would take a pinch here, and then I would smell it, and then I would smoke it, and I add a little bit of this. Next thing you know, you got an ounce of tobacco just trying to change the profile of it. Then you got to go back through. If you love the profile, then you got to, well, shit, how much did I put in that? Then you got to go work it backwards and try to figure out how much you put in it because you didn't weigh anything out.
Yeah.
But there's been a lot, man. There's been a lot. Either they weren't strong enough. I put too much press on them that squeezed the life out of them, or they were too much, like too appley or too alcoholic. I mean, I had one that was so strong when I popped the lid on the bucket, like the whole house, it got caught in the HVAC system, and the whole house smelled like whiskey.
I don't see the problem here.
No, I don't either. But my wife's like,
Wife,
Did you spill liquor down there?" I was like, "No, baby, it's the bucket."
Is there any blend that maybe that you thought, let me just let it sit. I don't like it. I'm gonna let it sit, and came back and go, okay, maybe there is something here. You had
Arca member.
revisited maybe. Okay, Arkham member. Okay, okay. Is there now you mentioned you know got quite a few little small pipes that you know try to sample these new blends in
Hmm.
that you're working on. Is there like a specific you know every time I make a new blend, it's going to go through this pipe because this is like my favorite pipe to try these new blends in.
No,
Okay.
no. It depends on what I'm making. You know, if I'm doing a aromatic, I usually grab a mirror or a cob.
Okay. Is it
And I
why?
have to clean these things. I got grain alcohol, and I got to clean these pipes all the time because I mean, I ghost the shit out of pipes.
It's a the aromatics really. I mean, because I don't smoke a lot of aromatics, and I've heard they ghost, but your experience, they do ghost quite a bit.
Well, I mean, they do. I mean, because it's. I mean, even regular tobacco, when you're smoking that much and putting that much heat behind it, and you're doing it so fast,
Mhm.
you're gonna the pipes are gonna retain that, and they're just gonna taste terrible. So then my pipe testing pipes keep getting bigger and bigger and bigger because that's just I burn through them so fast.
Okay. Well, I won't divulge any more of your tricks of the trade here, so I'll stop there.
Look, I'm open book, man. I got nothing to hide from anybody.
Well, I really appreciate it. Yeah, let's see. We'll jump into the comments real quick before we move on. I said Ted Rogers, quick stopping by. Appreciate you, Ted. Thanks for stopping by. I hate you're at work. I don't know who works these hours. That must suck. But we appreciate you stopping by. Hi from the snob-free pipe smokers. Um, Old Man Copper said honey, and he finally got some Chelsea Morning, and it was glorious from Darren Cassidy. So great. So Chelsea Morning. Have you ever had any aged Chelsea Morning?
I have
That's my
not.
question. Really? So I bought some Chelsea Morning because I love Englishes. That's it took me years to
Mhm.
figure out that Lotta Key is the leaf that I love. So I got me some Chelsea Morning, smoked it, then I went off in the deep end and just English, 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 all I could get. Well, I found my Chelsea Morning after about I think it had because it was aged when I got it. It had about I think 3 or 4 years of age when I came back to it. Oh my goodness! It seems to I mean not really mellow, but it meshed together really well, and it's just 3 years. So I can
I'm telling you,
imagine what four. Yeah,
5 years is they at 5 years and down, it's perfect.
yeah. So have you ever tried any a lot of or Chelsea Morning had a little bit of age on it, like 3 to 5 years?
No, I mean my average tobacco age is probably 3 years of everything. I mean, I've
Okay.
got some Gold Slice that is 4 years old. I'm just not a Virginia guy, man.
Yeah,
When I
yeah,
got into it, I was a Virginia guy, right? When we all get into it, we're sweet and we're like, I need to be a man. I need to smoke something stronger. So then you get to Virginias and you realize they burn your tongue, but you
yep.
move on. Um, so and it wasn't until this year, late last year into this year, that I really started honing in on the Englishes.
So you mentioned you have a few different Englishes. What's your favorite? I know what you mentioned like Nightcap, and you got Chelsea Morning, ESB.
Westminster,
Oh, that is your ultimate favorite. Okay.
Abington's probably second.
Okay.
Nightcap's third. Um,
Okay.
uh, what's that one? Beyond, From Beyond is pretty
Oh,
good.
From Beyond. Yeah.
Um,
Okay.
oh, um, oh my God, the trees. Um, shit, this shit's. Hold on,
The
hold please.
trees.
Trees. Robert Lewis.
Okay. I've not had any of his stuff.
Um, so Robert Lewis. God, I can't think of the name of the trees. I'm losing my mind. That had opened my cabinet door so I could see. And so to bed. I forgot all about that one, and I should be ashamed of
Okay.
myself. That is my all-time favorite. Then Westminster.
And
So
so to
that
bed is that good, huh?
it's esoterica. Oh my God.
Right.
So I've had the Stonehaven. I mean, when they release here in Kansas City, the guys at the shops call me because I'm a wholesaler for them too, so I can
Hmm.
buy whatever I want from these local
Nice.
shops.
Yeah.
Um, but I just of all of them that I've tried I don't know 7 of them, and Soda Bed's my favorite, and
Okay.
I keep stocked up on it.
So how's Margate? Have you tried that
I
one
didn't like it.
from
I didn't like
Esoterica?
it at all. I
Really?
I, I
Okay.
gave it 10. I think I gave it 10 to Who Dat, um, and someone else. I just wasn't a big fan of it.
I was just curious. I got. I
Tilbury's
don't have a
good.
lot of
Now
esoteric.
Tilbury's good.
Okay.
And I think Jermaine's is okay. People, here's I don't know. People go crazy over these things, and they're okay,
Mhm.
man. I mean, GLP's to me is one of the finest tobaccos you'll ever smoke.
Yeah, he's got some really
And
good
people go
stuff.
crazy, and you know that tin of that they spend this $30 whatever of a storage esoterica is $10.95, but people are paying double, triple, quadruple that.
Yeah.
It's insane to me.
Okay. So that's
Yeah.
all. So that's all I have for tools of the trade. And we got any more questions? Oh, got one from Neon Lexington here. Do you prefer inverted sugar to honey for casing?
No,
Okay.
I have I have used simple syrup, so to speak.
Okay. Mm-hmm.
Um, and again, it's what you're trying to go for, because honey, as you know, as you're smoking, you can taste the
Yeah.
honey.
Right.
Honey is prevalent. If you're trying to do like a sweet tart or something like that, that's just super sugary. Because I was going to make a vapor that way. I was going to make a sugary vapor blend. But I would use simple sugar for that. I use a
Okay.
lot of brown sugar in what I do too.
I like it. So I got another question from Neon Lexington here. Again, do you ever use vinegar for an anti-mold agent?
Nope.
No.
Alcohol or I don't like vinegar. Who is it? Who's what? It was Seattle Pipeworks.
Mm-hmm.
Absolutely horrid. Every time I smoked any stuff, that's all I could taste was vinegar. I even let a jar sit for a year and a half, and it just all I could taste was vinegar.
Is that? I mean, I'm just trying. McClellan's known for that ketchupy smell, so it's got to be a vinegar type
It's
casing,
there's a
right?
huge way difference. But there's a ketchup smell, then you got vinegar. Like they were
Okay.
trying to stop it from anti mold. Like they're saying, more is honey is a natural agent to prevent that.
Mhm.
So is alcohol. So majority, probably 90% of my blends have alcohol one way, shape, or another. Even though you may not taste it, it's in there.
Okay. Um, Piper Okie just scored half a pound of Tilbury and Dorchester. We'll have to let us know what you think. See if Tilbury is as good as
Tilbury's
Tony
good.
says it is.
Tilbury's
Yeah.
good.
You had
Dorchester's not
Dorchester?
bad.
Okay.
Yeah, I think I got a 10 in there. I can't remember. I just remember those two. The ones I'm looking at right now is the two that I love, which is and Soda Bed and Tilbury.
All right, so let's dig into a couple of your personal thoughts here.
Okay.
Just your own opinions here. So if you had unlimited access to any leaf you wanted, what blend would you make tomorrow?
That's a good question.
Why, thank you.
You know, I would make a chocolate flake.
Chocolate flake. Okay.
I would make a deep, dark chocolate flake.
Okay. So you're just gonna go straight Virginia flake, or what are you gonna put in it?
Um, no, I would mix it. I would probably use a little bit of a splash of burley. I would use red, more brights than reds, and then I would come with golden Cavendish to soak it up.
Okay.
Um, because most of those, you toast your burley, give it kind of that marshmallowy thing, and then when you put everything together, the chocolate's going to absorb in both the burley and the Cavendish, and then you're going to press it because it'll cool that Virginia off.
Okay. Very cool. So let me ask you this: an unpopular opinion. What is we'll call it a rule of pipe smoking? Like, don't inhale or make sure you dry your tobacco every time for an hour. So what is an unpopular opinion of this rule that you think is just absolute nonsense?
There's a lot of those rules. There's a lot of people
Okay.
who look down on people because they ask a question or don't know. There's a lot of guys out there that think because they got a little bit more money than the next guy that makes them better because they have a better pipe than the guy who's smoking all he can afford is a cob. Um, I think you smoke a pipe, however, whenever you want to smoke it, and it doesn't matter what you smoke it out of. You can smoke out of a pop can. I wouldn't give a shit. You're still going to be my friend. Then you're
Yeah.
smoking weed. But I'm just saying, but I don't care what you do. I think too many people get caught up in the, I smoke a pipe. And then they let it go to the head like they're super sophisticated. Well, look, man, I'm blue collar. I smoke a pipe and I got a lot of money, but that doesn't make me better than the next guy. You know, I work hard for what I got. So
Yeah.
I think there's no rules when it comes to this, man. You do what you want. It's your money. It's what you love. Do how you see fit.
I like that. So let me ask you kind of my signature question here. What do you think makes a blend memorable and not just good?
How much time the creator puts into it.
Okay. So is there any particular one that really that's really memorable to you, or that we can go with your blends too? What makes one of your blends maybe more memorable than the rest of them?
I'll say first one, which is Cajun Coffee by Who Dat.
Okay. Oh, yeah, that's a good one.
That is my
I've had
absolute
that.
favorite from everything out there. I that is
Okay.
my favorite blend he's ever made. And I've got pounds of it. It's my favorite blend. I cannot get enough of it. And he makes really good leaf too, man. He's I look up to him. So when he's doing things, I want to make sure that I want to be on that level where he's at. Um, I just love Who Dat. He's a great human
Yeah.
being. But I think it's more so what the tin note smells like to me and what it tastes like. Like when you pop one of
Okay.
these the Odyssey or Black Point, and you pop that thing, and you're like, oh, and you smoke it, and that thing's just like Black House, like Hearth and
Okay.
Home. You get
Yeah.
Paul, you smell it, and you're like, man, and it's just like velvet. It makes you stop for a
That's
second,
all.
and you
Yeah.
forget the whole entire world. You're like, holy shit, this is good.
Yeah. All right. Well, that was all of those questions. So we're gonna pause here real quick, jump into the comments. Let's see. Piper Oakey kind of agrees with you about Dorchester. He says a little let down by Dorchester, but thought it'd be a better vapor. Tilbury though was stellar, especially as a mature Virginia.
Hmm.
Oh, and here's a good question. Because you even mentioned how you're a little bit ADD and you kind of smoke a lot of different blends all the
Hmm.
time. So how do you control it from Darren Casa here? How do you control yourself with all those amazing blends sitting there yelling, smoke me, and not break them open and smoke them?
Man, I smoke a lot of tobacco. And I have a plethora of it, and then I have stuff that was given to me. I have drawers full of it. Um, I had recently I sold all my open stock. I had so many blends in jars. I had 100 that we sold for $7.50. All of them 3/4 of the way full. Just blends. I was like, yeah, I don't like it.
Yeah.
And jars and all, just sold them out. I smoke a lot of my blends, but I make so much of it, right? So I keep 1 2 ounce jar of every blend I've ever made. I keep it for myself. And that's more so to see how in a year how they do, how they age is are the components getting better together or are they not getting better together? It's a science that I want to have a McClellan. When you pop a tin, someone says, holy shit, this is just as good as that. I will never be McClellan, but I want my tobaccos to age like that.
Yeah. So what do you think was their secret? How are theirs aging so well?
They use a vinegar process. They use all kinds of stuff, steam, vinegar. They used, I mean, it's a lot of it. I mean, people still don't know how they do it. I know Sutliff tried to do a little bit of it, and they did pretty
Mhm.
good with their Red Virginias. It's a process we'll never see again, and here's why. We're in a society where everything's fast, instant gratification. We need it now, now, now. You see these blenders say, "Hey, a blend's coming, stay tuned," and then 2 weeks later, oh, the blend's ready. I'm like, dude, it's not. If you just give it 30 more days, man, that blend would actually probably be pretty good. But you're so tight on money, and you only produce, and you're doing it for the wrong reasons. Just do it, make it, give it time, man. That's patience is the key to this. You don't blow through a pipe, you'll burn your tongue up and mouth. Slow patience.
Right.
And ADD, the pipe's the only thing that calms me down because you have to, or you're gonna get burnt.
Yeah. I'll vouch for that. I burned my tongue more times than I cared to admit because it's so good. It just keeps smoking, and I get faster and faster, and I get carried away. So
Yes.
I got my tongue so it hurts so bad. um, let's see, we got another question here. Are you going to continue the Mad Bear line in the way of Sun Bear, where each year it's something just a little bit different?
No. A
No.
lot of the reasons I don't keep making the same things over and over is because I don't want to be. I do this out of love of it. I do it for the people to give them something new and something different to try. Again, if I start remaking everything and making it carrying, like I don't have a brick and mortar. I'm doing everything out of my home, right?
Mhm.
If I owned a brick and mortar, then I might keep house blends all the time. So when people come in, they can grab them. But the community tires of the same things over and over, right? They'll beg for something back, and then when people do that, then it's okay. I'm making it. Um, but it's the adventure. I think what my big following is because people really don't know what I'm going to do next. I think that's a surprise for everybody is when I kick something out, they're like, "Oh shoot!" And I like it too. I like that people don't know what I'm getting ready to do. Since I didn't make it to Chicago, I have a Civic Lunacy. I got a blend I made with $100. It's like 1808 rum. Um, I hurt my back really bad, and I couldn't get in a car. I couldn't. My wife had to tie my shoes for me, and there's no way I'm going to do a 13-hour drive to Chicago.
Right.
So I had to miss it. So I had this blend that's been blended since January that I'm releasing next month. Um,
Okay.
that I was going to take to Chicago, and I was going to hand it. I had bags and everything for it, and I was going to hand it out to everybody. Had new business cards made, everything for it, and I didn't get to go. So I'm going to release that blend next month. But
Okay.
again, it's you don't know what's coming from us. I love that.
Yeah. Well, so I guess can I kind of go to my next question? You went right into it. Thanks for the segue there. What is next for you? Is this going to be your next blend you release? Was a Chicago blend?
No, so next month is going to be that EMP,
Okay.
the one we talked about.
Yep.
That's going next month. As long as
Okay.
the other coffee that I released 2 months ago, I have been holding the pound back of it, so I got that. The Civic Lunacy, that's going to release next month, and then the fun's coming.
Okay.
I did this Dungeons and Dragons theme. I got with Jim Baldwin, and I said, "Hey man, give me an idea. What do you think?" Everybody's doing this J.R. Tolkien, this Lord of the Rings stuff, man,
Mhm.
and I said, "Let's play it out." I said, let's do some Dungeons and Dragons. So I got a vapor Lakeland blend, and then I did it with just a vapor without the Lakeland in it.
Mhm.
I made my own blend, just blended it components to make Lakeland. And then I got, then the other two, I have, Blood Lung Ogre. And it's super, super heavy rustica. I mean,
Okay.
all the stuff, everybody that loves Rustica, this is going to cave your chest in, make you dizzy. But I did it. I got dark burley in there. I got all the dark leaf in that thing to really shoot it up. And then I have a dwarfen forge one, where I actually went and got mead, Viking's blood mead, and I incorporated it into the leaf as I was doing to kind of give it that thing. It's got a little bit of that rustica in it, not like
Mhm.
the blood lung one. The blood lung one, oof, I had two puffs
I'm
on, and I was
excited.
good.
Yeah. So it's definitely one of those little short little.
It's going to be the heaviest and
Yeah.
hardest tobacco I've ever released, and I'm not
Yeah.
sure that anybody's got anything like that out there.
Okay.
I
Okay.
did, I
When
did.
can we expect that one?
That one will be released May, June, July, August,
Ooh. Okay. All right.
because the first one's going to be the
Okay.
Dwarven Forge. The next one's gonna be over, and then I'm gonna tail it out of that because I only did three for that series, and then we're
Mhm.
back in the fall. We're in the pumpkins, we're in the maples, we're in the marshmallows. We're in the time that we all love, the cool weather.
Yeah.
And then that's when I start driving the really driving the blends. Summer it's really hard to make blends because it's hot and this and that. It's just I try to do lighter blends in the summer. Um, but this one in August, man, you better have a fan on you. It was strong to me.
I love it. All right. So now, without saying the .com, because I don't want YouTube to flag us, where can I get these blends from?
Our Facebook page.
Okay, perfect.
So
Fantastic.
there's a link to our site, and you click on it, and it shows upcoming blends, what's available, and past blends. And if there's anything that anybody ever wants, hey man, can you make this again? Message us, man. We will always make whatever you guys want.
That's awesome. We appreciate that. We'll jump in the comments real quick at the end. I think, oh yes, you kind of answered that question. Old Man Copper, do you make custom blends upon request?
I do.
So just submit it through the Facebook page or through the
Yeah,
website.
just give me a shot. Say, hey, what you looking for? I did the McClellan cheer for the guy. Asked for it. But I also made 6 pounds of it so I could sell it to everybody else.
That's awesome.
It smells so good, dude. I could not help myself.
So we appreciate that. We really do, as the community. So I have 10 questions for you now, rapid fire again.
Okay.
I didn't send these to you, so they're fresh off the cuffs. That we'll call this a Blender's Table 10. So here we go. Whiskey or black coffee?
Whiskey.
What kind of whiskey? Oh, Jameson Redbreast.
Jameson Redbreast.
Early morning or late night?
Both.
Oh, okay. Sleep's overrated. Got it.
Yeah.
Favorite way to waste an hour?
Pipe shopping.
Oh, okay. What profession, other than the one you're in, would you like to attempt?
Man, I don't know. I want to do work for kids in the inner city.
Okay.
I want to find a way to break crime and distress up in the city.
I love that. That's awesome. Okay. That's a really good one. I don't know how to segue to the next question. I like that. I just ask a follow-up then. What kind of drives that passion? Where's that coming from?
The violence, man. There's just no reason. Nobody's got anybody's back anymore. I'm 46, man, and I had a hard life. But I made it through it, right? We all make it through stuff. There's no one's got anything. There's nothing in the city. There's nothing for anybody to do anymore. There's no fun. There's no love. There's nothing. Everything is about violence and hate and separating people by the color of your skin or by your financial status or what you like or don't like. There's no unity. There's nothing anymore.
I like that. What is one skill? If you could master one skill instantly, what skill would you master?
Tolerating people.
Okay.
I'm joking about that because I work in the automotive industry, so it's tough sometimes.
Okay. Yeah.
I've always wanted to play the piano.
What's stopping you?
Time.
Okay.
Time. Which is very, very short of.
Mm-hmm. Okay. Speaking of music, great segue. Jazz or classic rock?
Heavy metal.
Heavy metal. Okay.
Heavier the better.
All right. When you get a new tin, what's the first thing? You're gonna go buy the new C&D blend or wherever you get a brand new tin. What do you notice first? The name of the blend or the artwork?
The artwork.
Artwork. Is that what kind of draws you in? Then you'll read the name?
Yes.
Okay. What's a tool that you cannot live without, either in the shop or in your life?
Pen. Ink pen.
Okay. Prefer pen over pencil, huh?
Absolutely.
Okay. Blue or black ink? There's only one right answer.
Black.
There you go. My man.
Blue's for the customer, black's for us.
I like it. I like that. I've never heard that before.
Yeah, so you got to have 2 different signatures, 2 different colors of ink on legal documents.
Okay. But yeah, car salesman. I guess, you do that all the time. Okay. The last bowl of the night. Would you prefer to have a nice bowl in the quiet alone or with good company?
Depends on where I'm at in the day and that night, my mindset. My wife's my best friend and my son, my 2-year-old. He's down there when I'm blending tobacco. He makes me put tobacco in a bag for him to carry around when he's helping daddy.
That's awesome.
It's not really that. I mean, my favorite place is my family. So there's no place I'd rather be. But in the mornings when everybody's still kind of asleep is when I sneak out in the morning and hit the pipe on the front porch.
You start your day in solitude.
Start my day. That's the best way to start it.
Okay. Yeah. All right. Last one of these, number 10 here. When it's all said and done and MadHatter's closing the doors or passing it on, what do you hope people remember about your work?
That I didn't give a shit about myself, that I cared more about everybody else. That it was the people that made MadHatter's. It's not me. It's not my wife. It's more my wife than me. But it's not it's not us, man. It's the people that every dollar that they put into here doesn't go in my bank account. It goes right back into the business to buy more tobacco. I don't need that money to live. I use that to keep growing and keep providing. So everybody that purchases from me owns stock, owns part of the company because they're that's what they do. So when we go and the government's gonna force it that way with regulations are tightening and who we can send tobacco to, and it will be a day then we will have to shut the door. But I want it to be remembered that we are the road. We are the anti uptight classical music listening to guy because I smoke a pipe. I gotta have classical music. I gotta wear a vest, 3-piece suit. We are anti those. We are just country bumpkins who would like to have a good time.
Yeah. It's awesome. So I do have one final question I'm going to give you from the last guest, but I'm going to ask you if there's any comments here. Um, and so I think you kind of touched on this a little bit, but just one more time here. List your top 5 blends that you smoke regularly.
Oh shit. Um, well, Westminster, Abington,
Yep.
Three Nuns, um, uh, Mad Bear. I've got so much of it. I just keep smoking it. I really love Steamworks.
Really?
I don't know what it is about it, man, but I really love it. Robert Lewis, the tree, Robert Lewis. It's English. That's killer.
Okay.
Make anyway, Trace, go on.
Okay.
Can't
Oh, yeah.
remember the name.
Sorry. Last question here. I guess it's a 2-part question. First question is for you to answer. So this is from the last guest. When you make a blend, are you making a blend that you want to smoke, or are you kind of thinking of blends that you think customers are going to really want to buy?
When I make a blend, it's to push the envelope, right? To make something different, right? I did the bear because I wanted to do it from scratch. Make a navy tobacco from scratch, bear tobacco, and I make it. Majority of the blends I make is to see if I can even do it. It has nothing to do with what people what me has nothing to do with me. It's more of can I make it? The only thing that I care about is can everybody who smokes a pipe be able to smoke that blend? Whether you like arrows or whether you like Englishes, can you pick that up and smoke it and say, you know what, that's actually pretty good. It's not too weak, it's not dead.
Yeah. All right. So now my final question to you now is I'm going to have Steve Hazelwood from Southern Roots Pipes on next time.
Mhm.
What is one thing you want me to ask him?
How does he keep up?
How does he keep up? Okay.
He's a busy man.
How do you keep up? You're pushing out blends like crazy too,
I'm
and
not
they're
doing
well edged.
pipes and everything else. I'm just doing blends.
Okay.
You got to think when I do a blend, I'll make 3 in a row. Boom, 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 boom.
Mhm.
And then I'll do because initially when you're doing your casing or whatever you're doing, it's not really a lot. It's just it's you get an idea, right, of what you're trying to make, and by then I've written so much stuff down that I know that I can take on. I could take 1 pound of red Virginia, take 12 ounces of bright Virginia, throw in 8 ounces of Perique, And then I know that you can just mix it up and you can smoke it and it not kill you. So what I do is, so now what I've been doing is, instead of doing the small ones, because I've done it so much and I kind of familiar with the way things go, is I get the whole thing blended up together. And then before I do anything, before I case, if I do anything, I smoke a bowl of it. I sit back and I smoke it, and then that lets me know it's either burns too fast, it's not strong enough. Because if I don't have my base, then how can I case something? Then I'm just trying to hide something.
That's it.
But no, Steve Hazelwood's got some fantastic stuff.
Well, Tony, I really appreciate you. That's all I have.
Awesome.
Yeah. So thank you so much for joining me. Thanks for tolerating me asking questions.
So,
like
you're
mine.
good.
No, I appreciate you, Tony. Thank you.
Yes, sir.
Thank you, everybody in the comments. Appreciate everybody tuning in. The Blender Set will be back next month. Again, that'll be with Steve Hazelwood of Southern Roots Pipes. But if you have not checked out MadHatter's, check him out. He's on Facebook. I think you're on Instagram. He's got a nice logo right there. Little shout out. But yeah, we appreciate you, Tony. Thank you for everything. Keep up the great work, man. Push out some awesome blends, and we're excited for what you have in store for us. Yes, sir.
Thank you, guys. Appreciate it, everybody.
Everybody have a great night. Thank you.
Bye, brother.